From pulling impossibly heavy loads through the Scottish Highlands to hauling cargo across the muddy construction sites of Manchester, these 10 British trucks were built when reliability meant everything and planned obsolescence meant nothing. They are still working today. While modern trucks throw limp mode codes from emissions computers and require dealership software just to regenerate a diesel particulate filter, these mechanical masterpieces from the 60s and 70s are still earning their keep on farms, construction sites and industrial yards across Britain. No electronic nannies, no sensors that ground a vehicle over a software fault, just honest steel and proven mechanical systems that any competent fitter could rebuild in a dirt yard with basic hand tools. 10 trucks that refuse to be retired. Number 10. The 1969 Bedford TK. The Bedford TK, rolling off the production line at Luton in 1969, represented everything British truck building did right. With its distinctive cab-ahead of engine design and that unmistakable Bedford flat front grille, the TK could haul 7.5 tons all day long without breaking a sweat. The proprietary 4 and 6 cylinder diesel engines were so straightforward you could practically rebuild them in a field with a basic socket set. What makes the TK superior to modern distribution trucks? Start with the fact that every component was designed to be serviced by the driver. The side access panels opened completely, giving you unobstructed physical access to the injection pump and belts. No acoustic plastic covers hiding catastrophic problems, no digital sensors that fail and leave you stranded. When something went wrong, which was rare, you could see it, reach it, and fix it mechanically. The TK's semi-elliptic leaf spring suspension was bulletproof. Modern trucks use complex air ride suspension systems that fail when a pneumatic line rubs through, leaving you with an undrivable vehicle. The Bedford's heavy-duty steel system just kept working. Drivers today still praise the TK's incredibly tight turning circle. The cab was designed for work, not comfort. Everything you needed was within reach, built to last, and designed to function even when covered in mud or dust. Try operating the touchscreen controls in today's trucks with dirty work gloves and see how well that works out. Number 9. The 1973 AEC Mandator. The AEC Mandator, thundering down the M1 motorway in 1973, was a sight that commanded respect. This heavyweight hauler, built at the legendary AEC works in Southall, could pull the maximum UK legal limit of 32 tonnes with an authority that modern trucks simply cannot match. The Mandator's 12.4 litre A V760 engine produced low-end torque in a way that modern engines, with all their electronic variable geometry complexity, just cannot replicate. The beauty of the Mandator lay in its uncompromising mechanical simplicity. The ergomatic tilt cab construction used a proper heavy-gauge steel framework, not the lightweight composites and thin alloys that crumple in today's trucks. Mandator cabs were built with a structural rigidity that modern assembly line production rarely achieves without adding unnecessary weight. The controls were direct mechanical linkages. When you pushed the clutch, you moved heavy steel rods that worked in any weather. Drivers who worked Mandators remember the direct connection between man and machine. No electronic power steering that numbs road feel. No automated manual transmission that decides when to shift for you. You drove the Mandator, it did not drive itself, and that physical connection created better, more aware operators. Number 8. The 1967 Leyland Beaver. The Leyland Beaver, emerging from the Lancashire factory in 1967, was built for one purpose: moving heavy loads reliably day after day, year after year. The Beaver's reputation for indestructible durability became legendary among haulage operators who needed trucks that actively earned money instead of spending weeks waiting for parts in workshops. The Leyland O.680 engine was an engineering masterpiece of brutal strength. Displacing 11.1 litres, it was naturally aspirated, utilised robust mechanical inline fuel injection, and was over-engineered to run for hundreds of thousands of miles with nothing more than regular oil changes. Compare this to modern commercial engines, strapped with fragile air-to-air intercoolers, corrosive exhaust gas recirculation valves, and dozens of emissions sensors. The Beaver's transmission was often a Fuller Road Ranger, a constant mesh mechanical gearbox that skilled drivers could operate smoothly for decades without braking. No computer-controlled automated manuals that overheat their clutch packs in heavy stop-and-go traffic or require expensive mechatronic rebuilds when the electronic brain fails. The Beaver's heavy-duty frame, paired with Leyland's famous hub-reduction rear axles, could handle extreme torsional abuse that would permanently twist today's lighter chassis designs. Number 7. The 1972 ERF A-series. The ERF A-series, leaving the Sandbach factory in 1972, represented independent British truck engineering at its most practical. ERF understood that profit-focused operators needed vehicles that worked reliably, not corporate showcase pieces loaded with unnecessary technological complications. The A-series delivered that reliability through proven proprietary mechanical systems and robust, rust-resistant construction. The Gardner 6 LXB engine fitted to most of these fleets was globally renowned for its astonishing longevity and unmatched fuel efficiency. Running at very low, unstressed revolutions, Gardner engines regularly achieved over 1 million miles in commercial service. The SP cab, designed by Motor Panels, was built for the working driver. The heating system was fundamentally simple and effective. The ventilation was handled by physical flaps, and the heavy-duty switches were positioned logically for operation by a driver wearing thick work gloves. Modern truck cabs may offer the comfort of a luxury car, but they also offer 100 more ways to break down. Today's trucks rely on complex anti-lock, braking sensors, and automated collision avoidance algorithms that can physically override the driver. Number 6. The 1975 Seddon Atkinson 400 series. The Seddon Atkinson 400 series, rolling through Oldham in 1975, was the result of a massive corporate merger, combining the best of British truck engineering with practical operator requirements. Seddon Atkinson built trucks for haulage companies that needed uncompromised reliability to fight off the influx of Swedish imports, rather than marketing departments looking for the latest gadgets. The 400 series used proven Cummins or Gardner engines, both known for their brutal durability and simplicity. Because they lacked computer-controlled high-pressure common rail fuel injection and ECUS monitoring every microsecond of combustion, these engines could run on lower quality fuel. The chassis design prioritized incredible strength and infinite repairability. Frame rails were constructed of substantial, thick-gauge steel sections that could be welded, plated, or modified as needed without compromising the heat temper. Modern trucks utilize high-tensile alloys that often require complete replacement when damaged. Number 5. The 1970 Scammell Crusader. The Scammell Crusader, emerging from the Watford factory in 1970, was engineered for the absolute heaviest work British and international roads could demand. Scammell had spent decades specialising in extreme heavy haulage and military vehicles, and the Crusader represented their expertise in handling massive special types loads under the most challenging industrial conditions. The Crusader was heavily associated with the Rolls-Royce Eagle diesel engine. This massive power plant delivered its torque with a smooth, relentless reliability that highly stressed modern small displacement engines cannot match. The Eagle was built to strict engineering tolerances that ensured decades of brutal, reliable heavy haul service without fragile variable geometry turbocharger vanes to stick or delicate emissions scrubbers to clog. The Crusader's suspension system was brutally simple and over-engineered for extreme weights. It utilised massive multi-leaf steel springs on the front and rear axles with absolutely no rubber airbags to puncture, height control valves to leak, or levelling compressors to burn out. The ride was firm, but completely indestructible. Number 4. The 1969 Albion Reiver. The Albion Reiver, built in the massive Scottstoun plant in Glasgow during 1969, embodied the core philosophy of Scottish heavy engineering. Build it right the first time, build it out of iron, and make it last forever. Albion trucks were known throughout Britain for their legendary reliability in the tipper and quarrying industries. As a six-wheeler designed for rough site work, the Reiver utilised the ultra-reliable Leyland 0.4 diesel engine. The layout provided excellent, straightforward access to all mechanical service points. This is something modern manufacturers have completely abandoned in favour of tightly packed, cramped engine bays that require the removal of multiple plastic fascia panels and proprietary tools just to perform basic maintenance. The cab construction used a proper steel framework with durable materials that lasted decades. Modern municipal trucks are engineered to be lighter to offset the massive weight of their mandatory exhaust emissions equipment, but they lack the raw structural integrity that protected older drivers in working conditions. Number 3. The 1971 Dennis Pax. The Dennis Pax, rolling out of Guildford in 1971, represented British commercial vehicle engineering, serving the public sector at its most practical. Dennis Brothers understood that municipal operators, local councils, and refuse collection companies needed trucks that worked reliably on stop-and-go routes every single day, not vehicles that spent half the month in workshops. The Pax was highly versatile, frequently utilising the bulletproof Perkins 6.354 inline-six diesel engine. This naturally aspirated workhorse delivered its power smoothly and consistently without the extreme cylinder pressures and heat generation of modern turbocharged, intercooled and computer-managed power plants that require specialised maintenance. The cab design prioritised pure functionality, excellent visibility and extreme durability. The instrument cluster consisted of analog gauges driven by physical cables and pressure lines. There were no digital touchscreens to fail in extreme cold or washdown environments. No electronic multiplex wiring systems to short out. Number 2. The 1973 Leyland Marathon. The Leyland Marathon, leaving the factory in 1973, was a massive step forward, designed explicitly to fight back against the influx of premium European trucks. The Marathon represented Leyland's commitment to building a maximum weight, long-distance haulage truck that combined high-speed motorway performance with rugged British engineering standards. The heart of the Marathon was the brand new Leyland TL12 engine. This 12-litre inline-six was a masterpiece of mechanical engineering. Unlike modern turbochargers with fragile variable geometry and electronic actuators, the TL12 used pure mechanical turbocharging, designed to deliver consistent, high-horsepower output for high-speed continental runs without relying on fragile electronics. The Fuller RT9509 9-speed transmission fitted to most marathons was legendary for its durability and driver appeal. Skilled operators could achieve remarkable cross-country times with this mechanical marvel. The Marathon's cab was aerodynamically and ergonomically advanced for its era, featuring high roof lines and a sleeper bunk, while maintaining absolute mechanical simplicity underneath. The heating and ventilation systems utilised physical heater matrices and mechanical blower motors, completely avoiding the incredibly complex automatic climate control systems that frequently fail today. Number 1. The 1968 Bedford KM. Emerging from Dunstable in 1968, the Bedford KM stands as the absolute pinnacle of rugged British heavy truck engineering. It embodied everything that made British manufacturing respected worldwide: heavy-duty reliability, mechanical simplicity, and honest ironclad construction. Powered by Bedford's 466 cubic inch inline-six diesel engine, every component was logically placed. Major repairs required only standard imperial spanners, unlike modern commercial engines paralysed by computerized systems requiring dealer laptops to code replacement fuel injectors. Its heavy-duty, constant mesh transmission and massive rear axle handled immense torque and severe overloading without shearing teeth. With no electronic torque reduction software, the KM rewarded sheer driver skill. The electrical system was a masterpiece of mid-century simplicity, using heavy-gauge wire and analog fuses, completely avoiding CAN bus networks, where a faulty taillight sensor shuts down the engine ECU. These 10 trucks represent an era when British engineering led the world, prioritising rugged mechanical reliability over fragile innovation. While modern trucks offer creature comforts, they have entirely sacrificed this unkillable reliability. Across Britain, these classic workhorses are still running, proving that honest mechanical engineering never goes out of style.